Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, Maurice from Maurice Money Matters is going to be talking about should you rent versus buy. And early on in my 20s, I rented for a period of time. And I didn't have the 20% down to put on a house, and I didn't know the proper ways of buying a house. So I rented for a period of time, maybe six months to a year, and while I saved up some money. And I didn't really like renting even before I started, but it was the only thing I could afford at the time. So me and my wife, we rented. And the thing about renting is that, you know, the walls that you have, there's somebody on the other side, so sometimes it's noisy and that type of thing. And then one day I came home and some young guy had tried to make a seat out of my car. I had to ask him to get off my car. So those are the type of things that you come in contact with when you're renting. Other thing about renting is that your rent payment may be something like $800 a day, but next year they might go up $100, $150, $200. It's at the discretion of the landlord. So I didn't like not being able to make a budget and knowing what my rent's going to be from month to month or year to year. So those are things, the reason I didn't like renting, and the reason why I subscribe to buying versus renting. Now don't get me wrong, renting for a short period of time is fine, but for a long period of time, renting won't do anything but drain you. So when I got my 20% established, I got the down payment established, I was able to go and put 20% down on a house. Now, the reason why you want to put 20% down on a house versus 5%, because you can put as less as 5%. But if you put 5% down, they'll make you pay PMI insurance, private mortgage insurance, because basically you're a high risk. You wasn't able to come up with the money that prevents that from happening, so you're a higher risk. And oftentimes, because you're being a higher risk, then you have to pay that PMI insurance until it gets the 20% in there. So say you put 5% down, you got to pay PMI insurance until the money that you put in there, you paid into that insurance, reaches 20%. And until then, you got to pay that PMI insurance. So I like the fact that I will know what my payment is going to be. I know what the terms is of the payment. And when you buy a home, you want to put 20% down, and you want to go with a 15-year fixed mortgage. You don't want to do a variable mortgage. You don't want to do those balloons and all those things that they offer you. They even got a thing that's called interest-only loans, so you only pay interest. That technically means that you're going to pay for the house as long as you live in it. It is never going to decrease the principal balance of that house. I thought that was just the weirdest thing when I first saw it. They had a interest-only loan. So you can get a loan to buy the house, and you don't pay anything on the principal, you just pay on the interest only. And that's just a gimmick, and that's a way of getting your money, and they getting their money, but you staying in debt, and you'll stay in debt for the rest of your life, or as long as you have that house. So those are the things that I see as far as renting and buying. You'll lock in your interest rate, you'll lock in your terms, and from month to month how much you're going to have to pay out to live in a home. Where when you are renting an apartment or something like that, then you never know what's going to bring. And in 2019, things got crazy, and I had a cousin out here had been renting for years, and his rent went up to like $2,500 because they could get that from people because of what was going on. And he's like, well, I got to move. I got to go to someplace else because I can't afford the rent anymore. But if he had a home with a fixed rate, he would have known what it would be, and they couldn't increase it like that. So that's a short video of why I prefer buying a home versus renting, but buying in the right way. Not a 30-year mortgage, not a variable mortgage, or anything like that. Buying a home, but buying it in the right way. Till next time, This is Maurice with Maurice Money Matters. Remember, it's not the money, it's the mentality. Each one teach one. Peace.